Hello. In this video, we shall look at the question, what is God made of? What is He composed of? This question may sound a little strange, but it arises from the Islamic teaching that we humans are made of clay. The jinns are made of fire and the angels are made of light. Then the question arises, what is God made of? One of my Muslim friends told me that God is made of nothing, but He makes everything. But that answer did not satisfy me. So I looked for answer and I found a logical derivation from Hinduism that provides a more convincing answer to the question, what is God composed of? So we shall look at this aspect now. The reason why I refer to Islam is that my Muslim friends are the ones who ask the most caustic questions on Hinduism. And I feel that it is my duty to answer them to the best of my ability. Hence these videos, including this video. Okay, in the hierarchy of spiritual powers, let's start with man, with human. Above the human is the jinn. Islam teaches us that jinns are to be avoided. They are not good. They harm us. But the very fact that they can harm us, but we cannot harm them, only implies that jinns have more powers than we have. So we have the humans, then the jinns, and above them we have the angels. So we have clay, humans made of clay, jinns made of fire, and angels made of light. We see, as we climb the ladder of spiritual power or supernatural power, we find that the constitution or the composition of the respective beings moves or progresses from the gross to the subtle. Human is made of clay. Clay is gross. You can hold it in our hand. Jinn is made of fire. Fire is more subtle than clay. And light. The angels who are above the jinns are made of light. And light is even more subtle. So as we progress from bottom upwards, the constitution or the physical composition moves from the gross to the subtle and the more subtle. And since God is at the top of everything, nobody is spiritually more powerful than God. God must be made of the subtlest element, subtlest, most subtle. Nothing can be more subtle than the composition of God. Do I make sense? You judge. Okay, that's the first point. Now we shall come to what we call in science cause and effect. The cause and effect chain in nature. Every cause has an effect, and the effect becomes the cause of another effect. And that effect becomes the cause of another effect. And thus the chain of cause and effect continues for very long or indefinitely or whatever. Now we have considered a linear cause and effect chain, a single line. Consider many lines, many unfathomable, mind-boggling number of lines of cause and effect or chains of cause and effect. Not only chain, not only lines, not only linear, they crisscross each other. One chain from here, a million chains from there, 10 million chains from here, unfathomable number of chains crisscrossing and causing a matrix of cause and effect. One chain from here intersects one chain from here, and at the point of intersection there is another effect cause, which again spurs another cause and effect chain. It's a forest, it's a dense forest of cause and effect. That is what nature is, the seen nature and also the unseen nature. cause and effect principle is inherent in nature. Now, you see an effect, then you can get an idea about the cause. That is how crime detection happens. The crime detection team comes in after the crime has happened. They survey the scene of the crime, they take clues, they deconstruct the crime. They go backwards, same way. Actually what they see is the effect first, and then they trace backward the effect and cause chain. So the point is that from an effect, from the nature of an effect, you can get an idea about the cause. So you retrace a cause and effect chain backward. Or if you condense the entire matrix, the mind-boggling, unfathomable matrix of cause and effect chains, condense them into a single chain and trace backwards, for every cause that we see, for every effect you will see, you find a cause behind it. You get an idea. You will not get an exact idea, precise idea, but you get some idea about the cause. Trace backwards, and finally you will reach one cause that has no prior cause. The original cause, the cause of all causes, the causeless cause. That, in simple language or in popular language, is called God. The primary cause, therefore, can be taken as an ocean, an infinite ocean. It's also called the causal ocean, the ocean that causes everything. The causal ocean is God in popular language. Now, what is that causal ocean comprised of? That's our question. What is God composed of? We have already seen in our first point that God is the subtlest substance, because if the gross human being's body is made of clay, the slightly superior jinn is made of fire, and the still superior angel is made of light, then God's composition must be the most subtle. So whatever is in whatever the causal ocean is composed of, it must be very subtle. It can't be gross. God is subtle. Already by the time we have reached angel, we are into energy. Light is energy. And if God is more subtle than light, then God must be the subtlest of energy. Yes, God is the causal ocean, which is constituted of the subtlest form of energy. Nothing is subtler than that. But what kind of energy is it? Electricity is also energy. Heat is also energy. Flowing water is also energy. What kind of energy is God? Is it just a superior form of electricity? Electrical energy does not have brain. Electrical energy does not have intelligence. Same with heat energy, solar energy, or wind energy. Any energy is inanimate. So when we say that God is the causal ocean which is comprised of the subtlest form of energy, do we mean that God doesn't have brain or intelligence? Let's see this. Let's consider this. Water. Water is a very different kind of liquid in nature. All other liquids, when you cool them, they contract. They become denser and they contract. And they keep on contracting. But water is different. There is something called anomalous expansion of water. We have done this in school, in in school science. Anomalous expansion of water is what? It is that water contracts as it cools. But when it reaches the temperature of 4 degrees centigrade, it starts expanding, which is actually an abnormal behavior. That's why it is called the anomalous expansion or the abnormal expansion of water. This anomalous or abnormal law of water is actually a law of nature, and that is inherent in the causal ocean. It is inherent in the rules of the causal ocean, or of that subtlest energy that comprises the causal ocean, or God in popular language. So what happens with water when it touches the temperature of 4 degrees centigrade? It starts expanding. Without going into details, what this results in is that in cold climates, during winter, the surface of ponds or lakes becomes ice first, and the water beneath the ice remains liquid. It doesn't become ice. That layer of ice on the surface slows down the transmission of coldness into the deeper body of the water. So you have a top layer of ice and you have no ice. You have liquid water below it. And what purpose does it serve? It serves a very important purpose. It preserves life. It preserves aquatic life, fish. If this anomalous expansion of water law would not have existed in the causal ocean, or in the subtlest energy that is the causal ocean, if this abnormal expansion of water law would not have existed, there would have been no fish left in the lakes, ponds, or even rivers in very cold climates. So the causeless cause, which is energy, is intelligent energy. It knows that water must not become ice all of a sudden as it cools down. It knows that water must expand when it reaches the temperature of 4 degrees centigrade, because there is life beneath that water which has to be preserved. That thinking intelligence is that energy in the causal ocean. What other word can you use for thinking energy? Consciousness? Can we say consciousness for the thinking energy? That is the cause of all causes, the causeless ocean? Yes, we can. Consciousness. God is consciousness. God is made of consciousness. God is composed of consciousness. God is constituted of consciousness. Consciousness is God. The exact nature of that consciousness is not yet known to science. But by reasoning, we have just established that God is consciousness. It is not true that God is made of nothing, but He creates everything. God is made of consciousness. But what is the form of this consciousness? Does it have a form, or is it formless? Whether this consciousness has a form or is formless will be the topic of our next video. Thank you.